What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be discussing what Beezy had to say about grade A and what he's been saying about Juice on his Instagram story, at least yesterday. And we're also going to be looking at what Googly posted from a leaked text message that shows how much support Beezy was showing to Juice pretty early on. And we're just going to dive in and break all of this down, including what Pete had to say in his deleted comment. But before we do start, I do just want to give a shout out to all channel members. Thank you guys for supporting me and the channel and making these videos possible. If you want to check that out, you can look at the join button listed down below. But all being said, we're gonna get started. Alright, so we're gonna start with the main thing that kind of sparked this whole situation to start, which was obviously Googly runs an account on Instagram called like WRLD, where he posts leaked screenshots that he has or just private messages that he had from Juice's old phone number. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm still a little confused with it myself, but we can see in the caption of the post that this is from July 18th of 2018, and what the text goes on to say is it's basically from an ex-girlfriend that Beezy had before he went out to LA with Juice to tour with him and everything. And in the text it says exactly what is Sean gonna be doing. Obviously Sean is Beezy, and she just asks what is he gonna be doing while he's on tour with Juice. She goes on to say that we are breaking up due to him wanting to move to LA, and I want to ensure that he will be doing something worthwhile and not just watching the shows, which is something that he can do while still living at home. I've asked him and he claims he doesn't have the answer yet, but we have been together for 3 years and I deserve an explanation. To if you have any insight, it would be greatly appreciated. Basically what she's saying here is after Juice asked Beezy or whatever ended up happening to go to LA with him and go on tour with him and basically just stay with him, this confirms that Beezy left everything behind to go with Juice, which obviously he would. He's Juice's cousin, and I think anybody would jump on an opportunity like that, but it literally proves that Beezy left everything behind and he just went with Juice. Even his girlfriend of 3 years he left behind and ended up breaking up with in order to go tour with Juice and stay out in LA or wherever he was with him. Well, shortly after these messages were posted, Pete actually commented on them. He's since deleted it, but obviously people got screenshots of it, and Pete goes on to say that imagine if your cousin made it to the NBA and was making 40 mil a year and you were in your city and making 15 bucks an hour, and he was like, come live with me and roll with me, live in my mansion, etc. 99.9% of everyone will drop everything, so 99.9% of the world is super real. And Pete's just referring to the caption or the comment that Googly left on the post that basically was just trying to show how Beezy was a true supporter of Juice and how Pete isn't really on Juice's side but more on a cash grab side. Pete also goes on to comment laughing emojis, and then he says, I stand on every word I said. Bibby stopped rapping to push Juice when he only had 1K followers. Everyone gave up something. Go off though. So obviously that's what Pete had to say in response to these messages, and I'm not trying to pick a side or say anyone's really right or wrong here, because even myself, I think that anybody would jump on an opportunity like that. But I think kind of what Googly is trying to point out is the fact that after Juice passed away, Beezy went back to Chicago to go back to their hometown, and he's doing his own thing now, where Pete's still obviously with the grade A management and everything. So obviously it's kind of being looked at more of Pete's kind of in it for a cash grab, but it's not just Pete. A lot of people obviously gave something up to kind of help benefit Juice. At least that's what Pete's saying, and I do agree with that to a certain extent. But kind of diving back into what Beezy has been saying on his Instagram story, he's just been responding to some questions, and there's a couple that I just want to look at. One of the things he goes on to say is, did you have convos with Juice about grade A? Beezy confirms that yeah, he did. We don't know what really in detail the convos were about. I definitely don't want anybody to make any assumptions on what they talked about, whether it was Juice leaving grade A or if it was positive things, negative things, because we don't know. And I'm trying to be very unbiased. I'm just trying to bring you guys the information on everything that we have. But don't get me wrong, you can obviously make up your mind and opinion on what you want, especially based off of everything else we've seen kind of going on recently. I just want everybody to know that we don't know the specifics with that, so I wouldn't look too deep into that, at least unless we got more information. But going more into this, Beezy was asked why Pete was trying to throw dirt on his name, and he says, I don't know. We know that Beezy and Pete were friends at one point or another, or at least acquaintances, because obviously he was with Juice and so was Pete. And the last thing that Beezy really said about grade A that I thought would be notable for this video was somebody asked him if he was offered $100,000 if he would say grade A is a good label, and he says LOL nah. And one other thing I did just want to add in here as well is something that Beezy posted, which was somebody asking him what his opinions on leaks were, and he said messed up, but I can't blame the listeners, which is something that I think think is pretty true. At the end of the day, the people that do listen to leaks and don't support their group buys or anything like that, they're really just listening to the music because they want to hear new Juice music. And I know people have differing opinions on if leaks are good, if they're bad, if you should listen to them, and I'm not here to debate that, at least not in this video, but I do think that it is a good point to bring up that at the end of the day, these people just want to support Juice, and if these songs were released, they would support them officially released. We've seen this in the past, but with all this being said, I did my best to cover everything. As always, if anything else comes up or happens, I will definitely make a video on it. With all this being said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.